It's time to wake up the hero with the newest Kamen Rider Blu-ray release.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to my review of the Kamen Rider Black RX Blu-ray release from Discotek Media. This is their newest Kamen Rider release, and I'm so excited to look at it because I love Black RX. As a show, Black RX is, of course, a sequel to Kamen Rider Black, but as Black had a very, sort of dour tone, more serious, more grounded, it sort of ended on a really somber note, and so for the sake of doing a sequel, they decided to go with a bit lighthearted of a show, start to incorporate some other elements in, where Kamen Rider Black was very much the Kamen Rider formula, lone hero, motorcycle, fights, one villain at a time kind of thing. Black RX started to introduce some new elements to the franchise that would stick around, such as having multiple forms, having a group of villains, sort of like Super Sentai did, and then having like a personal weapon in the form of the Rebel Cane, which is similar to the Metal Heroes series. So it's kind of like bridging some elements together. Now, unfortunately, Black RX would be the last Kamen Rider series until 2000. It aired in 1989, and then in 2000 was when Kamen Rider Kuga came on the scene, and that sort of picked up Kamen Rider once again. So it's kind of like an end of an era. But what's really cool is that Black and Black RX are, of course, the only sequel series to ever exist for Kamen Rider. While actors have returned to Kamen Rider to replay their roles in different contexts, Black RX is the only true sequel to a prior Kamen Rider show due to the success of Black. So I'm really glad to see that Discotek Media was able to get the rights to both of them because they make a nice pairing. And I do like the black color spine on Black and the white color spine on RX. It really fits the two different styles and tones of the series. And I think that's just really cool. Of course, this is under Discotek's new Toku time label, so you can see that Black was TT3 and Black RX is TT4. We do not know what TT5 is. We don't know what the next Tokusatsu release is. We just know that Discotek is working on more Tokusatsu releases. Let's move Black aside for the moment. I think in general, it's really cool to see Black RX on Blu-ray for another reason. This show was adapted into Masked Rider via Saban Productions when they were trying to recreate the Power Rangers formula with other shows and only succeeding in making, essentially shows that kind of didn't make as big of a splash. And then there's also Beetleborgs, which was beating Power Rangers in ratings for a bit. Masked Rider is sort of infamous. It's not really well done in a lot of the ways that it was adapting its material. Not only Black RX, but tried to work in footage of the Kamen Rider Zeto and J movies. So Masked Rider is a bit of a mess. So it's nice to see the original version of the series, Kamen Rider Black RX, on an official North American Blu-ray. Now, something I don't talk about enough, and I do need to highlight more in my efforts on this channel, this is a Region A coded Blu-ray, so if you are in Region B, you're going to need a region-free player or a player that has the ability to switch regions. Region A pretty much covers North America and Japan. That is, you can look up Blu-ray region charts if I don't have one on the screen, but essentially this is a Region A release, so if you don't have a player that can play Region A, you're going to need to get one to get this release, and honestly, I'd say it is worth it. We'll talk about the actual disc contents in a moment, but I do want to highlight the packaging. The design for the cover of Black got some scrutiny, but there isn't just much to work with. Toei is kind of infamous for not having image assets. It's a little Photoshoppy. This is much cleaner. This is actually directly pulled from the Japanese Blu-ray cover, which I think actually works out pretty good overall. And in general, again, sort of Photoshoppy collage here, much cleaner on the back of RX. I do like the group shot of the villains. It was kind of fun. I think that's what made the show fun. With Black, everything was a Gorgon plot. With Black RX, each Crisis member had sort of a different type of storyline going on, different type of villains and monsters they'd send, and I think that's pretty cool. Plus some screenshots. This is, of course, only in Japanese with English subtitles, as there is no English dub produced. I appreciate the copy text, as always, on Discotek releases. In particular here, back in Black RX, and it kind of gives you a nice description of the show, which I'll leave there. This was a 47-episode series, and it is presented in high-definition 1080p. From what I understand, from what I remember from the live streams, this is the same transfer as the Japanese release, which was already done pretty good. Now, what's really cool is that once you open the cover, you get another cover showing the alternate forms of Black RX, Robo Rider, and Bio Rider with their specific bikes. For modern Kamen Rider fans, yes, there was a point where a rider had 3 different bikes depending on which form he was in, plus a car. Japanese street laws have not been great for riders keeping the rider part intact. Also of note down here, in case you hadn't noticed, the series did wrap up, minor spoiler, but the series did wrap up with a crossover of the prior Kamen Riders, and it's really cool to see Nigo, Riderman, and Zaycross in this promotional image there, but also just to see those Showa riders in their beautiful HD glory. Cracking it open, the discs are beautiful. I love the way you got Black RX there. Each disc has about 13 episodes on it. You got Robo Rider on disc 2, Bio Rider on disc 3, and then General Jark on disc 4. And then the inner artwork on the Blu-ray is a very nice shot of the villains themselves there, which you can see we've got all of them as well. And I do want to correct, I did say Black RX aired in 1989. It started in 88, ended 89. But there is essentially all of that. So I think the packaging is beautiful. I'd say it's even a step up from Black. I think RX does look visually better on that front. Like in general, I like it. Let's compare to Black again. There was the outer cover, the inner cover. You got kind of your villain collage in the background, and you get an image of Black with each of them. And Black was 51 episodes, so it was 5 discs. This is 47, so they're able to fit it on 4. Now, there are bonus features which aren't really advertised on the back, but we will take a look at that when we look at the actual discs. But I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, how does this look on a shelf with some other Kamen Rider Blu-rays? Well, before we get there, let's get Black and RX together, and then let's, of course, bring in the first Toku time release, which was Space Sheriff Gavan. And you can see that Discotek, I always love their packaging, not always consistent on the spines. They have a really good look going with specifically the Toku time releases, and I kind of hope that continues. I really do like the formatting here. And then, of course, we can throw in Mega Beast Investigator Jaspion, which was their first Tokusatsu release, I believe. I believe it was their first way back when. So that one doesn't line up as much, and that also is a standard definition on Blu-ray as opposed to a Blu-ray. We've talked about those before. Of course, Kamen Rider fans are wondering, all right, how does it look with the shout sets? Well, here's Kuga, here is Ryuki, and here is 01. So it looks good. Once again, as I talked about in the Black review, Kuga, Ryuki, 01, of course, different company. But I think they look nice. And then if we really want to mix things up here, here's the Generation Kikaiter Kamen Rider V3 DVD, and here is the Masked Rider, the first DVD. The only Kamen Rider release we know of on disc that's been announced is Media Blasters is scheduled to release Kamen Rider Shin Zeto J, the first and the next on Blu-ray, but that has been delayed due to company restructuring that they've had to do, so we'll see what happens. But for now, this is the official Kamen Rider media, home media collection, but if you want to include everything that's still in print and still available, this is what we're currently sitting at with these 5 shows. And these are 5 great shows to have out there, and I hope that we see more. I'm sure that we will. But on that note, let's get all these out of the way and take a look at the discs themselves for Black RX. So on disc 1, you get a shot of Black RX fighting some Crisis goons. You get 13 episodes on this disc. You can toggle the subtitles on and off, which is appreciated. And then, of course, you get 13 episodes on the disc, listed with episode titles. So pretty cool overall. One detail I appreciate is they always sub Kamen Rider above the logo, even in the short appearance it has on the black part of the Black RX title card. Also, the song is subtitled, of course, in the opening. Title cards are subtitled in a similar font to the actual title font. These subtitles for dialogue are in the classic yellow font, and even for the commercial bumpers, they subbed the Kamen Rider above Black RX. When the theme song plays in the show, there are subtitles for the lyrics up in the top left corner, in addition to any other insert songs that appear throughout the series. Disc 2's menu art includes Shadow Moon versus Black RX. It is also playing the theme song, and then you get episodes 14 through 26. Disc 3 features Black RX fighting Das Mater, and this also contains episodes 27 through 39 of the series. On Disc 4, the last disc, you have Black RX fighting Emperor Crisis, and then this contains episodes 40 through 47, which brings you all the way through the end of the series. You get interviews with Tetsuo Korada, who played Kotaro himself, Jiro Okamoto, the suit actor for Kamen Rider Black RX, and then a Korada and Okamoto combo interview. You get the series promo, which was sort of the pre-series promo that they put at the end of Black, which also I believe was on the Black Blu-ray. You get the US Blu-ray trailer that Discotek made. You get a historical essay by Mike Dent, also known as Mock Dent, which is a multiple-page historical documentation of Black RX. And then finally, you get an art gallery with a bunch of images from the series, including concept art. And it was never a fear, but yes, all of these Showa writers have the correct names, not like in Master Rider, where this guy claimed he was Amazon. So it's honestly pretty spectacular. The Kamen Rider Black RX Blu-ray set, I mean, Discotek just does, honestly, they're one of the best companies doing physical media, and this is just another excellent release in their already excellent catalog. I really loved Black RX as a show, and so to get it on an official Blu-ray with this really great quality, great subtitles, really cool bonus features too. I love the addition of the interviews and the extra art galleries and essays and stuff. I have no actual complaints about this set. I highly recommend it. I got mine from Right Stuff Anime. It's also available on Amazon, which is probably the best way to get it if you're importing it. But yeah, it's absolutely worth it. And if you're somebody that loves the stuff that Discotek puts out and you're not living in a market they currently distribute to, I'd recommend just getting yourself a region-free player, because their releases are definitely worth that extra cost. I do hope to see the further expansion of Kamen Rider into more territories besides just North America. But in general, I do really love this release, and I highly recommend it. And like I said, we don't know what the next Kamen Rider Blu-ray release is, nor the next Tokusatsu release from Discotek Media. But to make sure you don't stay out of the loop, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss a video here on this channel. Hit the like button while you're down there, and leave me a comment and tell me which Kamen Rider or Tokusatsu series you want to see Discotek release. Personally, I would love to see Discotek do Shingirion. I really like Shingirion, and there was a passing reference to it in the historical essay of this set, and I'm like, you know what, it'd be really great if we could get Shingirion from Discotek. But on that note, be sure to check out my live streams Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, because anytime there is Kamen Rider or Discotek Blu-ray news, I will cover it there. Also be sure to check out my Discord server at the Soundout Discord protocol, link in the description. In addition to that, you can also find me on social media still at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, as long as those are still applicable. And you can find my awesome graphic designer on the Discord server at DarkClaw643, and Hero Club at hero-club.com for Tokusatsu interviews, news, and more. Till next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.